What's going on, guys and gals? Stock Jock here, up $849 in the first hour of trading. Let's get right into the trades. So my next and first play, I should say, is Cali. This one, CALI. It was a China stock. We had news that it sounded like Trump and the president of China were going to kind of ease the rhetoric that they were talking about. China doesn't want a trade war, and President Trump had some nice comments about the China's president, his comments. So it was just a nice little love fest going on. And with that kind of a backdrop, these low float China stocks love to run on any kind of positive news out of China. So the first one started to run like crazy was CNET. You can kind of see it in the bottom right hand corner of my screen, CNET. It started to go crazy, and I know Cali, the one I actually end up taking as a sympathy play, I know that one can get moving fast. So when I saw CNET go, I jumped over to Cali. Even though it hadn't moved yet, I was anticipating that would move in sympathy to the other low float China stocks moving. So I jump in Cali, and I actually hold this for quite some time. You'll just see my entry, and we'll get to the exit later on. So my next trade is GBR. This one, it just hits my low float high index scanner in the bottom right hand corner. It's a stock I'm very familiar with. Usually when it hits my scanners, I know that I usually play it, and I know that other chat rooms start to play it as well. So when I see it hit the scanners, I immediately click on it and I immediately just jump in because it hadn't moved very much. I mean, you can see the low day is like 132. I jump in around 135. I think it filled pretty crappy fill here at around 140. I don't know. I can't remember. But it ends up just doing nothing. No one plays it, and I end up losing money on the trade.
ST price
I'm
target
in
range for
GBR
sale on that is 5 to
140.
$7.
I'm showing 835 by 849.
All right, getting out of GBR.
Again, yeah, that's subject to change by
-5. So this next trade is KONE. This one was on watch for continuation. If you look in the bottom left hand corner there, the daily chart, well, you can't see yesterday's candle because E-Trade was screwed up with the daily chart. It didn't have any data from the day before. But you can see on Wednesday, the two candles back, you can see it went crazy. Well, yesterday it went crazy as well. So it was on watch for continuation. And especially since it was up near the highs of the previous candlesticks on the daily chart. So it was just on watch. So this was an opening range breakout. You can kind of see on the 1 minute chart here, if you put a horizontal line all the way across the high of the day there and a horizontal line across the low of the day, that's the opening range. You could play at this point, you can play it to either side. If it breaks that lower part again, you can short it. If it breaks to the upper side, you can go long. Well, I was looking to go long on this because, a lot of times these low floaters, when they go nuts, the second day, they're going to go nuts again because people want to play them. People are keeping their eye on it. In this case, it was the third day because first and second day they both went nuts. So I'm thinking, okay, the stock rarely has a third day of going nuts, but I'm willing to give it a shot and keep my eye on it in case it does. So the entry point on this was the opening range breakout. You'll see a ton of volume start to pour into this thing. I jump into it. It breaks that opening range, which in this case is the high day, and it just shoots up like a rocket. And this is where I make the bulk of my money right here.
watching for resumption, and I'm going to put an order at 850 for a scalp.
Watching KONE for
Probably going to be
any
around
kind of
$8.
Momo out of this thing, maybe a high day break.
Right now I see a 45 for the break of 850. Sold at 850. As soon as I saw that little bit of resistance, I got out. The high now is 864, so I'll get in back over 850. Just got back in at 848 for the break over 850. My average is 841. It was 855. The high of that candle was 875. Over 875 would be probably my next add.
All right, long KONE.
Breaks. Having a problem with quotes again. Stopped out of the rest for right now. High is 875. $15.07 on that one. 7 minutes. High day is 864. So the thing is, on this one, we know we're extended. We've got 2, 4, 5 green candles in a row, and now a doji at high of day. We have room on the daily chart to 940. I was hoping we would tap 9, but you know, it started to get a little heavy in that 850, 860 area. So,
Sold half at 770 on KONE.
keep it on watch. High of days 4. I don't think the first 1 minute.
Sold the rest 833 KONE.
It's already so extended.
So I traded KONE again, and this one hurt. I did lose about 25 cents on this trade, around $500. So the reason why I took this entry I was looking at the 1 minute chart. Okay, so if we're looking at it right now, it just went candle under candle on the 1 minute, which is a bear sign, and it should have sold off maybe the break of $8 down to the VWAP, but it didn't. It only dropped maybe 3 cents, and then it popped right back up towards the high of that candle. So I'm watching this and I'm thinking, wow, if it's not going to dump now, maybe this thing's got another leg up. So at this point, since the candle under candle on the 1 minute chart didn't work, I'm thinking, okay, maybe the candle over candle is going to work. Break the candle over candle, break 850, off to high a day again, maybe break 870, and then on to 9. But what happens is it's a false break. So I enter in, I get an average of 844, I think it is, and I'm looking for that 850 break. As soon as it gets close, boom, someone sells a crap ton and drops the stock 30 cents. When that happens, I give it a moment to see if it'll bounce back. Again, it doesn't bounce back, and I have to exit. This is where a lot of new traders, they don't sell and they'll hold, and this is where they become bag holders. When the stock doesn't work the way you thought it was, you have to exit no matter how hard it. Well, I can't tell you what to do, but in my opinion, I exit. If a stock doesn't do what I thought it was going to do, I get out, especially when it rejects what I thought I was going to do. In this case, it rejects it hard. I exit. I take the pill, I put it in my mouth. It tastes like crap. That poop pill, I put it in my mouth, I swallow it. But you know what? It's way better than holding this bag and letting this turd, get bigger and bigger and bigger, and then I have to swallow an even bigger turd pill later on. So I end up bailing on this. It does hurt, but it could have been way worse. KONE, the break of 850 might set this thing off to go high day. So it's a level to watch. It just went candle under candle and really didn't flush out. So maybe a candle over candle. False break on it. That's a shame. So this next trade was LEDS. This one is a 5-minute play. This is one of my favorite plays that I do. It looks really, really good on the 5-minute chart there. Okay, if you look in the top left-hand corner, that 5-minute chart looks fantastic. The only problem is it is below the VWAP. You can see the VWAP here in my 1-minute chart right in the middle of the screen. It's that thicker teal line. That's the VWAP. In a perfect world, the 5-minute play will set up above or at the VWAP. That's the only thing that was wrong with this, is it was below the VWAP. Nonetheless, I was willing to give it a shot because it was already a crazy mover this morning, and the risk reward was in my favor. I mean, if it went nutso again, it could have cracked $9, but it didn't. So anyway, my 5-minute play, I missed the original move out of the stock. It popped up crazy from like 490 to 850. I mean, it's a huge move. All right, I didn't chase that. I wait for a pullback. That's those red candles that you see there, and I just let it pull back, let it pull back, let it pull back, and at some point, it's going to give me a candle over candle. Now, if it pulls back all the way back down to $5, I'm not interested in this. Okay, the pullback has to be in preferably the upper third of the original move. In this case, it's in the upper third. It's below the VWAP, which I don't like, but again, I'm willing to take a shot on it. So my entry point is right when it looks like it's going to go candle over candle in the 5-minute. I enter in right when it looks like it's going to break the previous 5-minute candle after a pullback. So in this case, it looks like to be around, I don't know what that is, 7:30-ish. I don't know. So I get in, it pops up, a little bit of volume. And when I do these 5-minute plays, I want to see it pop and pop fast. It doesn't pop fast. And when I see that it doesn't pop fast, it means there's no buyers here anymore. It's not going to go anywhere. And I get out. And I get out, I believe, before it flushes out. So I do make money on it, but it just didn't work out. And I think a lot of it had to do because the setup was below the VWAP. Long LEDS for the 5-minute play. Looks like a false break might happen.
President Trump tweeting now, Speaker Ryan is a truly good man.
Out half, 732. Looks like a false break.
Legacy of achievement.
Out the rest, 732.
We are with you, Paul.
So that looks and feels like a false break.
So I'll pass the cone, see if I can unwind the rest on a pop. I want to see it get back up.
So this next trade with CBay, this was a 5-minute play as well. It's the second one. The first one worked out well, so I'm thinking, okay, the second one would work out well as, just as good. And in this case, we also had, the $15 level in our sights. So I'm thinking maybe longs would want to push this thing to go over 15 for a quick pop, and I would sell on the other side of 15. The problem is again, this is another false break. So I had a false break earlier on KONE that hurt me. This one didn't work out as well. So this is 2 examples where the 5-minute play did not work out. You get a pullback candle there on the 5-minute chart. It's just one of them. Yeah, that's all. That's enough, especially if it's above the VWAP. I enter in as we go candle over candle. We do go candle over candle, but it rejects the move. and I have to sell and get out for a loss. Long CBay 1477. False break.
Alright. So we've got about a minute to resumption here.
Alright, I'm out. 1478.
I just missed your PM. Try reverse.
So this next play is MARK. This one is a news play. It's up near the high day. News comes out. It's a negative news. When I hear it, I jump in immediately, looking for the flush of $6, and I was just going to cover on the other side of 6. The problem is it flushed out 6 and popped right back up. So at that point, the move just kind of stopped. So I ended up covering half for a little bit of a loss and then covering the rest for a small profit. So when the flush of that whole dollar just didn't work out, I'm looking to get out and minimize my losses. I actually ended up getting out basically break even.
MARK, remark. Trade is circulating a report here. J Capital out with negative report on remark. MARK believes that it was tricked into acquiring China branding. That's Michael Alpha Romeo Kilo. ESEA, Euroseas, announcing sale of its Elvis bulk carrier vessel for $6.45 million.
So CBay again popped up out of nowhere. I missed that pop. Now I'm looking at the 5-minute chart and it's flagging very nicely. And I'm now looking for the next 5-minute candle over candle to get in, looking for the $15 break. So as it looks like it's going to go candle over candle after the pullback here, I jump in, and I do have in the back of my mind that I just tried to play a 5-minute candle over candle, and it did not work on me. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't want to get stuck in this again. So any kind of sign of weakness, I'm going to get out early this time and just take my profit. So I do get in, and I do get out. I think I make about 3 or 4 cents on this trade. All right, I'm in at 1484 for a 1-minute entry. Looking to see it go here. A little volume coming into it. Stop loss will be break even now.
U.S. crude futures at the highest level since December 2014.
All right, stopped out. +3. I'll get back in for 1492 break. So I was anticipating the 5-minute candle over candle on that last play, but it didn't happen. So I'm still watching it, anticipating the 5-minute candle over candle now for the breakout. I used the last play was more of a 1-minute play, anticipating the 5-minute breakout, and the 5-minute never came, but I still made money on it with the 1-minute candle over candle. Now we're at that 5-minute level again, so I buy, anticipating the 5-minute break, and again it rejects the move the second time for me, and just doesn't go, and I end up selling for a loss. All right, I'm in 14. Oh. Showing 1491, but now it's showing 1484. Looks like a false break. Might bail here. Yep, stopped out. 1487. So I had just gotten burned on that 5-minute candle over candle play, right? It was a false break, burned me again. So now at this point, I'm like, all right, screw this. I'm going short on this thing. And the setup here I have is on the 1-minute chart. You can kind of see that if you look 2 candles back, you get that one red candle that kind of spiked down. Then the candle after that, it was just a horizontal candle. It didn't bounce at all. So at that point, now that we're inside the current 1-minute candle, I'm looking to go candle under candle here. And it was all because of that spike, and then there was no bounce, and now I'm looking for candle under candle to break the low of both of those. I go short. Sure enough, we get that flush out. And unfortunately, I only took 1,000 shares here because I was just getting shy of this thing to playing it. So I go short, and I do make a nice profit on this. Had I held it the whole day, this thing ended up below 14 bucks. It would have been a nice win, but that's not the way I trade. And I did make a nice little profit on this one.
Yes.
Kind of looking at CBay now for a 1-minute entry on this 5-minute candle. So maybe below 1466. And that's how I ended the first hour of trading, up $849. If you have any questions on my trading style, you can find me in my free Discord chat. The link for that is in the description down below. I will see you guys in the next video.